Hello students, I'm here with another video from a new chapter of class 7 science from your NCERT book. The name of this chapter is Acids, Bases and Salts. Before starting today's video, I would like to tell you about the topics which are to be discussed in this lesson. So, the topics which are to be discussed in this lesson are the introduction regarding what is acid, bases and salt. Then we are going to read about the indicators. Then we'll study about the acids, then bases. Also we'll study about the neutralization reaction, the salts and the application based on neutralization reaction. So these are the topics which this chapter will be dealing with. Okay, now before starting the first topic, let us see what all connections are present in this lesson in these topics. So acids, bases and salt mainly is will be composed of the explanation of acids, bases and the salts as well as the indicators. Okay, so these what are acids, which we will discuss about its properties such as taste, chemical properties, okay, and the examples. Next, in the base also we are going to discuss about the taste. Then we are going to discuss about the examples about it. Okay, then how are these acids and bases we are going to distinguish between. So with the help of indicators we are going to identify that whether the substance is acidic, basic or salty. Then acids and bases could be introduced, could be indicated, or it could be distinguished with the help of two types of indicators, like which will be natural indicator as well as the synthetic indicators. Similarly, we'll see about the neutralization reaction. Then what is this neutralization reaction and what is the effect of these neutralization reaction in our daily life. Okay, so this was the mind map or the concept which is going to be built up in this lesson. Now next we go on to the introduction of this chapter, that is acids, bases and salts. This is the 5th chapter from your NCERT book. That now we see that there are different types of substances which are present in our home, where we are surrounded with such substances. Okay, now for example, you eat fruits, you eat vegetables, you drink juices. Now there are different substances, they have the difference in their nature. These substances could be acidic, these substance could be basic, or these substance could be salty, and each and every substance has its own effect on our life. Now acid, bases and salts are 3 important groups of chemical components, chemical compounds, or these are the chemical substances which are very useful in many ways. Okay, for example, if our stomach our stomach makes an acid, that is hydrochloric acid, which is necessary for the digestion of our food. Baking soda, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate, is also used in baking a bread, that is a base, whereas the common salt, that is sodium chloride, is used for cooking the food. Okay, so this is used for cooking the food. Now some acids, bases and salts occur in nature, whereas some acids, bases and salt, they are chemically prepared, they are artificially prepared in the industries. Okay, now these are of 2 types. One is naturally seen, another one naturally prepared, another one is synthetically prepared or artificially prepared. So there are, however, many other chemical compounds such as water, glucose, now urea. All these are neither acidic nor basic in nature, so they are neither they are salts. So we will read about, so in this chapter we are going to study about only acids, bases and salts. Okay, now in this in order to find out whether the substance is acidic, basic or salty, so we need to know about the term, that is acid base indicators. Now before going on to the indicators, I would just like to tell you, or just make you conscious, that when we go on a road, then sometimes what happens, we see a light. Okay, we see a light which is having 3 colors. Okay, which colors are there? The colors are red, yellow and green. Okay, red, amber and green. So these are the 3 colors which is present on the road whenever the crossing comes. So what is this light? This light is known as the traffic light. And what does this tell you? This light tells us about it is going to it is going to tell us about the road on which we have to go, whether we have to stop or whether we have to go. So this red light is going to tell you that you have to stop. This green light is going to tell you about that you have to move on. So it is also an indicator which is going to indicate you whether to stop or to go. Or a second example which I want to cite here is the light which is present in your vehicle, okay, which is present in your scooties and the cars. Why is that light being blinked, or why do we blink that light? We switch on that light whenever we have to take a turn. Okay, when you have to take a right turn, you just blow that right indicator, which is a colorful light which is shown from a distance, so that the person who is coming behind you, the vehicle which is coming behind you, is going to be indicated that you are going to take a right turn. Okay, now there are various other ways for indicating the things in our daily life. Two such examples I have given you. Now there is some indicator which is present in this chapter, that is the acid base indicator. Now how do we know that some substances are acidic in nature and some substances are basic in nature? So we need to know about this acid base indicator. So what do you mean by indicators now? Now indicators are the special type of chemicals, as we are talking about the chemicals in this chapter. So this is also a special type of chemical which are used to test whether the given substance is acid or basis. Now how do these indicators going to tell you about acids and bases? So in the same way as that traffic light was changing the color, so this also will change the color when they are added to acids or bases. Now we are going to discuss about various types of indicators in detail. Okay, now before starting this chapter with acids and bases, I would just like to tell you about this indicators, because we are also distinguishing that acids and bases on the basis of this indicator. So first we should understand that there are two types of indicators. First is the natural type of indicator, second one is the synthetic indicator or the artificial indicators or the man-made indicators. So as the name suggests, these natural indicators are those indicators which are made by our nature, which are present in our nature, or they are obtained naturally from the natural things, such as this litmus, turmeric and China rose. These three are the indicators which is given. These three indicators are given in your NCERT book also, which are to be discussed. So we are going to discuss about these litmus, turmeric indicator and China rose as an indicator in this chapter. There are many more indicators, such as the red cabbage also acts as an indicator. Okay, so next type of indicator will be the synthetic indicators. These synthetic indicators are those which are prepared in the laboratories, which are prepared in the factories by human beings. So mainly they are of two types. Okay, now there is one more type of synthetic indicator which is known as the universal indicator, which I'll tell you in the last. Universal indicator. Okay, and I'll discuss this also in the last, but this is not given in your NCERT book. For the sake of knowledge, I'll just discuss it. Now we go on to the testing of this acids and bases with the help of these indicators. So an indicator is a dye. It is a chemical which is of special kind that changes its color when it is put into the acid or in a base. Okay, these chemicals are very much of a very peculiar characteristic. It is having a very beautiful characteristic of changing the color when it is added into acids or bases. Okay, so indicators give different colors in acids and bases. An indicator is going to tell you whether the substance we are testing is acidic or basic in nature by changing its color. Okay, similar to the traffic light which was present on the crossing, or the indicators which are present in your vehicles, which is going to tell you that the person is going to take a right or a left turn. Okay, so these substances, they contain acid, is said to be the substance which contains acid is said to be acidic, whereas a substance which contains a base is known as basic. Now we also say that an indicator tells us about whether the substance we are testing is acidic or basic by changing its color. So please remember, how is this indicator indicating that a substance is acidic or basic? By changing its color, as it is a dye. Okay, acid base indicators are of two types. That is, I told you that it is natural indicators or synthetic indicators. So there are few examples of natural indicators, that is the litmus, China rose, turmeric. These are the naturally occurring indicators which are present in our nature. Okay, next is the phenolphthalein is an synthetic, it is a synthetic indicator. Now phenolphthalein as well as methyl orange is there. Okay, many other synthetic indicators are there, which is used as a which is made by man and is used in the laboratories. Fine. Now we will now discuss about how these indicators are prepared and how we are used to find out whether the substance is acidic or basic in nature. So these are the three examples which we are going to discuss as natural indicators. Now the first is the litmus. So this litmus is an indicator. Litmus is an indicator. It is a natural indicator which is obtained from this lichens. Okay, so there are two types of litmus there, that is a blue litmus and the red litmus. Now how is this litmus obtained? Litmus is an acidic litmus is an it is a chemical which is obtained from the lichen, which we have studied in the first chapter about symbiotic relationship, where this alga and the fungi live together, so they forms lichen. Okay, so these lichen is another example which is purple in color, or it is mauve in color. See, you could see here, in these are mauve in color, these are light purple in color. So when this litmus solution, it is neither acidic or basic. Okay, it is neutral. So when these substances, it is when the color is purple, when the litmus is added to acidic solution, when we add litmus to acidic solution, it turns red. Okay, this turns red. Now when we add litmus to basic substance, this is for acidic. Now when we add to base, this litmus is added to base, it changes to blue. Okay, so this changes to blue. So why is this changing? It is because it is an indicator which is going to change the color, and because of the changing of color, we are going to find out that whether the substance is acidic or basic. So litmus are of two types. It is made in the form of paper. So this liquid, which is transparent in nature, we are just using it in the form of blue litmus paper and red litmus paper. Okay, so this becomes more convenient. For the sake of convenient and the detection of the color change, acidic or basic indicators are added. So these litmus are of two types, blue litmus and red litmus. Litmus can be used in the form of solution also, just like paper. The diagram for which it is given here below, that is in the form of papers, but you could use in the form of liquids also. Okay, now the litmus strips are two in color, that is blue litmus and the red litmus. Now how will you change these? How are these papers used for indicating the acid or basic substances? So you will take a blue litmus paper and you will dip this blue litmus paper in acid. Okay, as soon as you are going to dip the paper in acid, which color it is going to show you? It is going to turn red in color. So this blue litmus is going to change into red by indicating the substance is acidic in nature. Okay, now next is the blue litmus paper. When this red litmus paper, when you are adding it to base, this base, because of the reaction with base, it is going to turn into red. So this the bases are going to turn the red litmus paper to blue. It is going to turn into blue. So this red litmus paper is going to turn into blue when bases are added to it. Okay, so bases are going to turn this blue litmus into red, whereas the acids are going to turn this blue into red. Okay, now please remember, so it's given here, it is used for changing it is used for indicating the acidic and basic substances in the laboratory. So acid turns blue litmus to red and bases are going to turn red litmus to blue. Okay, for changing for testing for blue litmus, for testing for bases, we are going to use this red litmus paper, and for testing of acids, we are going to use this blue litmus, which is going to turn into red. Okay, so convenient way to find out whether a solution is acidic or basic is whether test it with the blue litmus paper or red litmus paper. Okay, turn by turn we are observing the changes, and if a drop of given solution turns blue litmus to red, the given solution will be acidic. Okay, now if the lemon juice is added on the blue litmus paper, lemon juice is also a kind of an acid which contains citric acid in it, which is going to turn this blue into red. Now if we drop this solution, a drop of solution on red litmus paper, it is going to turn to blue, which means that this acid, this substance is base which we are testing. So this was about the litmus. Now next is natural indicator, is the China rose indicator, which is obtained from this hibiscus flower, or the flower which is known as China rose. China rose is also an indicator. China rose is also known as gudhel in Hindi. China rose is light pink colored solution. China rose indicator is a light pink color solution which is extracted from the petals of this China rose plant. Now how are you going to make this China rose indicator? Is also given in the form of activity. For making China rose indicator, we have to collect some petals of China rose, and then we have to place them in beaker. Now when you are going to place them in beaker, you have to add some boiled water or warm water in it. Keep that China rose petal immersed in the water for some time. Now this water becomes pink in color. Now remove the petals by filtration. This light pink colored solution is thus obtained as a China rose indicator. Sometimes you have to crush also. You can crush this little bit. These petals should be crushed in mortar pestle, and then we will add it into warm water, and that water is being filtered, which is used as China rose indicator. Okay, which is used as China rose indicator. Now this China rose indicator is used for testing acids and bases. How are you going to test these acids and bases, which is given in the form of activity in your book also? So we'll discuss it. So first is acidic China rose indicator is China rose indicator will turn to deep pink. Okay, it is going to turn to deep pink. This light colored substance is there, which is China rose indicator. We will keep it in one test tube, and you will add some acid to it. As soon as you're adding acid to it, it is going to turn to dark pink, which the color will be known as magenta. Okay, so it is going to turn into magenta, as is the marker as my marker's color is there. This is known as magenta. So this pink color which is shown here is going to tell you about that the given substance is acidic in nature, or acid. And then base, what about base? Base is going to turn to green in color. Whenever you are adding base to this China rose extract, it is going to turn into light green. So this is going to tell you that the given substance is base. Now there is another way of obtaining the solution, whether it is acidic or basic. It is to test it with China rose indicator, and we observe the changes in the color which is going to take place. The first one is, if you drop a given solution of China rose indicator, it is going to change from the light pink color to dark pink color. Okay, deep pink color. Then the given solution will be acidic in nature, or it is acidic. For example, lemon juice turns China rose indicator to magenta or to deep pink. So lemon juice is acidic in nature. Thus lemon juice contains acid. That is why it is acidic in nature. Similarly, if you are going to add a drop of the given solution in the China rose indicator, which is turning to light green in color, which is turning this pink to green in color, so that given solution will be basic in nature, or it will be a base. For example, if you turn take some in the water, and then that add some water in it, or take some baking soda solution and add this baking soda solution in the China rose indicator. So that was initially light pink in color. As soon as you are going to add base to it, it is going to change in the blue colored substance. That is going to tell you, that color change is going to show you that it is basic in nature. So this baking soda is a base, as it contains basic substances in it. Next is the turmeric, which is used as an indicator here. It is also an indicator. It is also used as an natural indicator. So turmeric is another natural indicator. Turmeric is a bright yellow powder obtained from a plant. Okay, it is also called haldi in Hindi. So turmeric contains a yellow dye. Okay, it contains a yellow dye. This turmeric turns red in basic solution. This turmeric is going to turn red when you are adding base to it. Okay, as you have seen that when sometimes your cloth gets stained with this turmeric stain, then if you are putting this cloth into the washing powder, then what happens? It is going to turn into the red colored spot. Okay, so that is indicating that this turmeric is acidic in nature. It turns red in basic substances. So this turmeric is used as an indicator in the form of turmeric paper. Now how are you going to make this turmeric paper? Turmeric paper is made by as follows. Take a tablespoonful of turmeric powder, add a little water to it, make a paste. Now deposit this turmeric paste on a blotting paper or a filter paper and dry it. Now the yellow colored paper is obtained, which is known as turmeric paper. You can cut the strips of these turmeric paper and use this turmeric paper as an indicator. So turmeric paper as an indicator shows the following change. The turmeric paper is yellow in acidic solution. It is not going to show any change in the acidic solution. Okay, if you are adding acid to it, it is not going to show any change. Now as soon as the base is added to this paper, it is going to turn this yellow paper into red in color. Now if you drop a given solution turns yellow turmeric paper to red, it means the given solution will be basic in nature. Okay, it contains base. For example, baking soda solution, if you are going to put it on the strip of turmeric paper, it is going to turn yellow color into red color change. It is going to show you a red color change, which is telling that the baking soda is basic in nature. Okay, now the next one is, if you are adding the acidic solution, lemon juice, on this turmeric paper, then what will happen? This is not going to show you any kind of change. Okay, as acidic substances are not going to change it is not going to show any change in this turmeric paper. So acidic substances, no change. Basic substances changes this yellow turmeric paper to red turmeric paper. Okay, that is, the baking soda is base in it. The yellow turmeric paper, however, remains yellow in adding acidic solution. So learn this. We have just learned about that base turns yellow turmeric paper to red. Now if we put a drop of acid in turmeric paper, then the turmeric paper will change from red to yellow. Okay, this cancels the effect of an acid effect of base and restores its original color. Now many a times you have noticed that yellow stain of curry on a white shirt is due to the presence of turmeric in the curry. Turns red when soap is scrubbed on it. Okay, so this is due to the fact that soap solution is basic in nature, which turns this yellow color into red color with base. Okay, so this was about the turmeric paper or the turmeric as an indicator. Now next is the synthetic indicator, that is the phenolphthalein as an indicator. Now what is this phenolphthalein? Phenolphthalein is a solution which is transparent in its nature. There is no color. Okay, it is a man-made synthetic indicator, which is an acid-base indicator. Now how does this color change, indicating that whether a given substance is base or acidic? So phenolphthalein indicator is colorless in acidic solution, whereas phenolphthalein indicator gives light pink color with alkaline or basic solution. As you could see here in this diagram, that in the first diagram it is just like water, it is transparent. So it is when you are adding acid to it, is not going to show you any kind of change. Okay, the color is not going to change. As soon as you are adding that phenolphthalein into basic solution, it is going to give you a light pink color substance. A light pink color change is observed. So we will be using phenolphthalein indicator when we carry out the neutralization reaction of acids and bases. Please note that if you add acid to the solution of base, if you add acid in the solution of base, which turns pink by phenolphthalein indicator, it indicates, and then the solution will change pink to colorless. This cancels the effects of acid. Now once you add phenolphthalein to acid, it is not going to show you the change. Now alkaline substance, once it is added, basic substance is added, it is going to change into pink color. Now again, if you are going to add the acidic substance to this one, it is going to cancel the effect of the phenolphthalein, and again the phenolphthalein is going to be colorless. So there are certain substances which has no effect on the indicators. Such substances are neither acidic nor basic. So the substances whose solution does not change, whose change is not observed in any acid base indicators, these are called the neutral substance. Okay, for example, the substance whose solution does not change any color, either to red litmus to blue or blue litmus to red, they are known as the natural substances. They are neither acidic nor basic. Okay, now the pure water or the distilled water, the common salt, sugar, all these are neutral substances. So when pure water common salt solution is added to any of these indicators, there will be no color change. Okay, so this was about phenolphthalein. This is a synthetic indicator. Now one more indicator is there, that is the universal indicator. Okay, now what is this universal indicator about? So this universal indicator is the mixture of many indicator. Okay, it is a mixture of many indicators, many chemicals, by which one indicator is being made. Now in this indicator we use this pH scale. Okay, so we use this pH scale for measuring the different types of we are using the different colors. There is some color code. Now how is this color code being utilized in the chemistry lab or in the in detecting the chemicals in laboratories? So this pH scale is a numbering in the form of scale that is from 0 to 14. Now from 0 till this 6 is the substance which is acidic in nature. Now after 6, that is 7 number, is showing you the neutral substances, which is neither going to change the color of acidic indicator nor basic indicator. Okay, now next is the alkaline substances or the base substances, which starts from number 8 to number 14. This indicator is this is known as the pH value. Okay, now this pH value will study in higher classes in detail, but still you should have some concept of this pH values. So this pH value is going to tell you the strength of any acid or base. Now when the number is coming from 0 till 6, so it means the substance is acidic in nature. Okay, now if it is coming 7, it means it is neutral. So just like the common salt or the distilled water or that filtered water. Next is alkaline substances, that is coming from 8 to 14. Now how do we test these pH values? Similar to this litmus paper, we have the pH papers also. Okay, we have pH paper. So this pH paper is made up of small strips of paper, which is just like the filter paper, which is just like the litmus paper, or we can say that it is a litmus paper, but it contains the universal indicator. So this universal indicator is liquid also, and it is also obtained from in the form of paper strips. So this is dipped in a solution. This paper strip is dipped in the solution and the color change is observed. Now if the color changes between this red to light green, this means the substance is acidic. Okay, now next, if the strip changes to green only, then it means it is a neutral substance. The given solution is of a neutral substance. Now if the change of the color is from blue to dark blue, this violet or dark blue, this is the purple, it is showing you that the substance given is basic in nature. So please remember about this strength of this pH value, or the pH is used as a natural indicator. Okay, so this is going to tell you about the strength of the given substance. Fine, I would just show you the picture of the natural universal indicator in the next slide. So this is a slide which is showing you the color or code and the natural universal indicator. So this is obtained in the form of liquid, and once it is added to acidic substances, or it is added to basic substance, it is going to show you different types of colors. Okay, it is also obtained in this liquid form, and it is also obtained in this strips forms. Okay, in this paper form. So these papers are similar to the pH paper. So this paper is going to be used according to the solution, according to the range, and the range is also written on the sheet. So here this, as you can see here in this picture, on this bottle also the indicator is given, the range is given, that it is going to check only the range between from 3 to 11. Okay, as I think as it is not very clear, and I could read it is from 3 to 11. So it is going to indicate, it is going to tell you about the substances which has a pH of 3 till 11. In the same manner, you will see that various universal indicators are there, which is having its range written on it, and we could see the various types of changes. Okay, so this change in the color is making very much clear. It is going to tell you very clearly that whether the given substance is acidic, basic or neutral. So just remember that the color from this 0 to 7 means it is from yellow, this red to the light green. This is telling you about the acid, then 7 is going to tell you about the neutral substance, and the blue color is going to, shades of blue color is going to tell you that the substance is basic in nature. So this one is the most appropriate, most precise way for seeing the strength of acids and bases. So we have studied about today we have studied about the various things about acids, bases and salts. In that, the most important one is this indicator. So we have discussed about just a brief view or a very detailed view about indicators. I just gave you the concept of what is acid, that is a substance which has acidic property or which is going to turn the indicators in different colors. So various types of indicators also we have discussed, that there are two types of indicator, natural and synthetic indicators. Natural indicators are obtained from the natural substances, and synthetic indicators are made in the factories by, they are man-made, or they are also known as synthetic indicators. So natural indicator, in the example of natural indicator we have studied about litmus, which is obtained from the lichen extract, and the China rose extract, which is obtained from China rose. Turmeric is also obtained from turmeric, which is used as various indicators. Okay. Next thing we have discussed was the synthetic indicators, which is obtained from the laboratory, from the market. It is prepared synthetically. And next, last I have given you, I told you that this universal indicator is not given in your book, but still for the sake of knowledge I have told you what is pH. pH is going to tell you the strength of the acidic and basic substance. And I told you about neutral substances also. The neutral substances are those which are not going to change the color from the given color, which is not going to change any kind of color in this either in this universal indicator, or they are not going to change the color in the basic indicators or the China rose extract or this turmeric extract. Okay, such substances are called the neutral substances. Okay, such as distilled water. And once you will add the pH, once you are going to add this this distilled water to natural indicator, this one universal indicator, it is going to give you 7. It is going to give you the green color. So distilled water, when it is added, when you are taking a strip of such universal indicator paper and you put it on, you just dip it in the distilled water, then what will happen? Okay, now distilled water is neutral in nature, so it is going to give you 7. This is going to give you the 7 value. It is going to show you the light green color, this green colored paper. So this change in the yellow color from yellow to green color, it means the given solution means the distilled water will be neutral in nature. Okay, so this was the today's lecture, and I hope you all have understood the concept of indicators very nicely. Now this was all about today's video. I'll meet you all in the next video.